Hello, everybody. Welcome to Menhera Monday. This is your host, Exhibit A, wishing you a very happy Menhera Monday. Hello, Kit Kat. Hello, Moxie. Hello, Toy Box. Hello, Megan the Hidden Verse. Oh, it's Riku. Hello, Riku. Hello, Lily. It's everyone, right? Yeah. How are we doing today, guys? It is Menhera Monday. Sorry that the stream is a little late. There was some stuff that came up that I had to sort out. But we're good now. I'm doing pretty okay today. Thanks for asking. Alright. And I could turn back time, 'cause now the guilt is all mine. Hello, Zana. Welcome. Alright, guys. Let's see. So Toy is in therapy. Hope therapy goes well for you. It's a shame that it was scheduled on Monday. But listen, you still get to listen in, don't you? That's good at least. I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure. You can tell me later. But yeah. But yeah. Moxie, hello. Did I, yeah, no, I said Moxie's name earlier, yeah. Alright. So yeah, we're all here today. This week's question was, who is person or type of person you think is underappreciated? So we're gonna read some of those out. Menhera Monday was my therapy until my job came along. No! Fuck, man, having to get jobs. That sucks. Jobs stupid. Jobs are poopy. Dumb. 3 more days until me becoming 21? Oh, hell yeah. Enjoy becoming 21. 21 is an important age. It's when you get, in most parts of the world, you can drink. I think in the UK, you actually get paid more, because the minimum wage changes, which is a little bit weird if you think about it. Like, why should you be paid less because you're younger? That's weird. And then, even if it comes to, like, minors, why is it the norm to pay minors less? Like, I know the whole point is that, oh, they're not adults, so they don't need to be paid an adult wage, but it's like, doesn't that kind of encourage people to just... I don't know, it's like, it seems a little exploitative to me. It's like, oh, we're gonna hire children now because we don't need to pay them as much. It's like, I don't know. But I guess it's harder for minors to get jobs, so maybe that actually is a good thing if they don't get paid as much, because then people are more likely to hire them. I don't know. Hello, Sarah. Welcome. Welcome to the chat. Alright, alright. Let's see here. Had my party Saturday to celebrate with friends and family. Yeah. That party. You had an early birthday party. That makes, I guess, if you're not going to be around your family on your actual birthday, it makes sense. Okay. Do you guys have extravagant birthday parties? I haven't had like a proper birthday party in so long. Although even when I was younger, we didn't have we never did anything big. Like, I would always see other kids doing their birthday parties, and they were like these big, huge events. In my case, it was always like really simple stuff. It would just be me and my parents, and usually like maybe like 1 or 2 friends. I don't know. I don't remember too well. Because the value of someone's time is higher if they have more experience. The older you are, the more likely you are to have experience. Well, I don't know. I mean, a lot of adults don't have experience in that field. You know, though, I don't know. I guess it's based on approximations, perhaps. Let's put on some music. The only extravagant birthday I had was my Sweet 16. What exactly goes into a Sweet 16? Like, I've always known that a Sweet 16 is like a thing. But, like, what makes it different to other birthdays? What are they doing? Alright, let's turn on the audio. Yeah, I mean, what makes it, yeah. I haven't had a big birthday party since I was in high school. Yeah, I mean, I think when we get into adulthood, it becomes less of a big thing. Which is a shame, because birthdays are important. In Latam, it's the quinceanera. It's quinceanera. Huge thing. That's, Is that every birthday? Or is that certain birthdays? My Sweet 16 was just me going around my town in a limo due to COVID and lockdown. I couldn't have a party. That is a shame, but going around in a limo seems cool. If an adult doesn't have experience, that means they didn't have the experience when they were younger either, so the point still stands. Yeah, but then you have to, pay them more, right? Even though they don't have the experience. Sweet 16 in America is my baby girl is all grown up because we can legally drive here in America. Yeah, can drive. Quinceanera is when you turn 15 and you quote-unquote become a woman. Huh. It's a big celebration. I had a mother and father-daughter dance and a DJ. Lots of sweets and a beautiful cake. The venue wasn't so big, but I wanted it small. Yeah, in America you have to be 16 years old to drive. I think in the UK it's 17, I think. Alright, let's open up the answers. Let's get through some of those. Sorry if I'm a little bit off today. We'll see. Bro, why is it not loading? Here we go. Is that volume too high or too quiet? Let me know if it's alright. The music. I will literally fight you on this, bruv. Why are you getting so aggressive all of a sudden? I'm just trying to understand what you said. Freaking adult doesn't have experience. That means they didn't have the experience when they were younger either, so the point still stands. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why you pay adults more when they might actually be just as inexperienced. I don't know. My quinceanera, I asked for a trip to Korea instead of a big party, and fucking COVID ruined it for me. Oh, that's fucked up. That is fucked. Would have loved Korea or Japan. Yeah, I definitely want to go to Japan someday, and Korea seems cool too. So hopefully I get to see both in my life. Alright, so, what is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? People with small cocks. Written by Zana. That's very kind of you, Zana. That's very true. People with small cocks are underappreciated because everyone thinks that big cocks mean better experience, but that's not the case. It's not about the size of the boat. It's about the motion in the ocean, right? You know, small things can do great things. Small things can do big things, you know? And at the end of the day, you know, it's the character that matters, you know. It's not the size, it's who it belongs to and what it is capable of at the end of the day. Good on you, Zana, for recognizing that. Good on you. So more likely to be more experienced on average, not individually. I guess on average. Gotta be careful about doing things in averages, though, then, right? Because then people might say, like, oh, women, on average, are worse at this specific thing, so actually we should have the minimum wage for women be lower, or something. You know, people can make arguments like that. I think something applying, broadly speaking, to a lot of people doesn't mean that you should apply the same rules to, or that you should enforce rules for that whole group based on that, right? So, like, you know, I might be, you know, for example, yeah, like, on average, a certain group of people might be better than another group of people at a certain thing. But then, what matters is the individual. You know, what is the individual better at? I don't know. My thoughts are kind of everywhere, but I think you guys know what I mean. But I think, age of consent and age of drinking is also based on averages too, though? Is it? I didn't really know that. I don't think the age of drinking should be different from the age of adulthood, though. I think that at the same age that you're able to freaking get drafted into wars and die, I think that's the same age you should get to drink alcohol. Although I kinda get it, because they did it to reduce... They did it to, like, reduce accidents or deaths or whatever, and it actually worked, so I don't know, maybe... I'm not gonna die on that hill, because I get it, maybe it's better that way, but... I kinda just think when you're an adult, you should have the same rights as all other adults. It's rather infantilizing to be an adult, but then to not be allowed to do certain things because of your age. That seems a little weird to me. I don't know. Because then that implies that you only really become an adult truly at 21. In a way. Debate me, scrub. I think alcohol should be legal. Cringe. Moxie, why are you acting so different today? Is it just me? What the fuck's going on? Are you drunk or something, Moxie? Have you been drinking? I think alcohol should be legal. You think it should be illegal? You're gonna bring back the fucking, what is it? Abolitionist movement? Moxie's been replaced? Yeah, like, he's acting different. What the fuck's happening? Is someone else on your fucking account right now? What's going on? Alright, hello Utopia, see you around. Hope my mom can't hear this. You better not say anything strange. Kinda horny, sorry. It's alright. See, let's hope your mom didn't hear that. Alright, next one. What is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? People who remember small things about you. Written by Luzula_VA. Oh. Yeah, fair enough. I mean... Yeah, if someone remembers small things about you, it shows that they care. Because a lot of the time when we pay a lot of attention to someone, we pick up on all the little things about them. We pay attention. You know, we notice the things that other people don't notice. We see the little way that they smile and look down at the ground every time you compliment them, or brush their hand over their nose every time they lie. These are the things that you notice about someone you care about, someone that you love. Not everyone will notice it. So it's good to appreciate the people who remember those things about you, because those are the people who, in all likelihood, appreciate you. You never say anything strange? That is true. That is actually very true. What is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? People who are gift givers. Alright, this one's been left blank. So we don't know who wrote it. Yeah, I mean, gift giving is definitely... Yeah, because... Not everyone is a giver. You know? Some people are takers. You know? But if you get a gift for someone without being expected to, it shows that you care. You know, it's not just being willing to spend money on someone, it's also just you have to think of someone. You gotta really be thinking of someone to do that. You know? That's how it be. That was sarcasm? I don't care. Oh, hello, Luzula. Oh, you wrote that one too, Luzula. You didn't write your name on that one. Both these are yours. Fair enough. I mean... Yeah, because not everyone gives gifts, but if you have a friend who gives gifts, and gives thoughtful gifts, that's someone who really cares about you. That's someone special. Not all of your friends will give you gifts. In my case, I know I only give gifts to people that I really care about. I don't really give gifts to everyone. You fell asleep? Darn. Let's see. I think there's certain times of year when gift giving is obligatory or expected, and depending on what family you're in or what friend group you're in. But again, then it's people who give thoughtful gifts that matter, you know. Did they just give you like a frickin' gift card to like say that they gave you a gift? You know, fair enough, money is pretty good, but there's no thought that goes into it. If someone gives you a thoughtful gift, not just something to tick off a box, but something that they know you like, they've paid attention to what you've been talking about, they've paid attention to the stuff that you've been saying you'd love to have someday, or your hobbies, something to do with a hobby you have, you know, then you know that that's someone who thinks about you. And that's cool. Psst, let me in on a secret what I should give my BF for Christmas. He says he don't know, but I think he's lying. Uh-huh. Well, I'll see if I can help you out with that. I'll see if I can work something out. I'll see. I'll let you know if I find out what he wants. Or if there's a good thing to get him. You could always try, one thing you could try doing is look on his Steam profile, look at his Steam wishlist. You know, Steam has a wishlist for the games that you don't have yet but want to get at some point. If you can check his Steam wishlist, you might be able to see what games he wants, and then you can buy one of those games for him. But I feel like that's a common tactic for buying gifts for people you know online. Tend to give gifts of my friends' favorite snacks or favorite anime merch, like a keychain or a plushie. Oh yeah. Stuff like that is neat. Yeah. Merchandise. Because if it's from a show, though, a game franchise that they like, that shows that feels personal. That shows you've been thinking of them. So they'll appreciate that, because it's personal to them. Lily's the tweetist. She's making me an art gift? That is cool. That is a good kind of gift to give people as well. You know, like a gift that doesn't necessarily cost money, but requires effort. That also shows your care for someone. And that can be a great way to make someone feel loved and cared for. Gifts are a great opportunity to make someone feel loved and cared for. You know? And some people appreciate expensive gifts, where they're like, oh, you're willing to spend money on me, you're willing to make that sacrifice to make me happy, and then that means a lot to them. Other people, the money doesn't really matter. They don't really want an expensive gift. What matters to them is something that you put effort into, you put thought and time into, that, you know, took work from you, because that shows that you care about them. And then to other people, it's just anything that shows you've been thinking of them, you know? Just anything, as long as it comes from the heart. Different people have different kinds of gifts that they appreciate. We're all in that spectrum of what kind of gifts you want. Some people don't want gifts at all. Some people just feel terrible. If they receive a gift, they feel guilty. They're like, no, I don't want to have to... If you give me a gift, I'm going to feel like I have to give one now too. And it's like... I can be that way sometimes too. It depends on who's giving me the gift. I'm okay with receiving gifts from people that I feel really close to, because then I don't mind having to get them a gift, because I was maybe already planning to do that. Or even just, you know, I don't feel bad about it, because, like, I don't feel like I'll owe them anything, because I feel like I'm already giving them my friendship in return. You know, like, I'm not going to feel bad about owing them anything, because if you're good friends with someone, you know, you two owe each other whatever. You don't really have to, you know, it's like, it doesn't matter what you owe your closest friend, you probably owe each other things, you know, like, you don't keep track, you don't keep count of how much one has done for the other, you just do things for each other. So if in a close friendship, I don't mind getting gifts, because we're not keeping track. If it's not a close friendship, and I'm given a gift, well, now I've got to keep track, because I don't trust myself to give them back naturally throughout the course of our relationship, what they've given to me. That's my boyfriend, good gosh. Like, take it, I expect nothing back. I love you, you femboy. You're dating a femboy? Oh, goodbye, Riku. Bye-bye. Have a good day. If I give you a gift, you'd feel bad? Depends. Thing is, if I open... I'm a quality time person over gifts, but they can be meaningful. See, me too. I would prefer quality time. But if it's a situation where I'm spending lots of time with that person anyway, most of the time, a gift would be more of like it's an out-of-the-ordinary thing, so that could be more special in a sense. But overall, I may prefer to spend time with them over receiving a gift. You know, if I love someone, I'm going to want to be around them. So yeah, speaking of gifts, like, would I feel bad receiving a gift from one of you guys? Probably not, because I don't know. I mean, do you guys expect something in return for it? I guess I'm giving you my presence. Not presents, but presence. You know, by being here, existing, being the awesome Exhibit A. I am giving you top quality entertainment. So what is there to feel bad about? And I do want to activate donations at some point. So that would kind of count as gifts. I already have my Ko-fi open, which Toy Box does give me £5 for a month. So that's a gift. I'm grateful for that. I'm open to receiving things from fans. I don't expect anything in return. I already get pig noises. Heck yeah, I'm dating a femboy. It's great. Lucky you. Enjoy. joy. Living the dream out here. Alright, next one. What is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? People who are fun, honest, kind, and genuinely care about others. I think a lot of people care too much about vanity or social status. Like, I prefer to have friends who are fun, to be around, and care about me than ones who are objectively cool, or prefer to date someone who genuinely loves and cares for me than a supermodel. Luckily, I think Belle is a 20 out of 10 anyway, so I get the best of both worlds in that situation. Written by Sam. Yo! Pretty based. Yeah, I also prefer... I wouldn't put forward, like, objective qualities like fun, honest, kind. I would say I'm a lot more concerned with having people in my life that are my kind of person. You know, the kind of person that I fit well with, as opposed to just having people who are viewed as objectively cool. Now, the thing is, I'm the best of both worlds. So I am objectively cool and awesome and really likable and attractive and charismatic. But I'm also just a genuinely good person with good character. So I'm basically the ideal person to make friends with. And I like to look for other people who are nice. I like people who are very kind. Who are always thinking about, you know, how to make your life better. Which, again, kind of ironic, because I don't know if I'm necessarily good at that. But, you know, you become like the people you surround yourself with. So, at the very least, I think me having good taste in other people means that it's going to reflect on me positively in some way. It'll make me better. You know? Yeah, I mean, something I've realized, I used to have this obsession with kind of just being... I wanted to be like a charismatic type, someone who can be loved everywhere I go and get people to like me and become popular wherever I go. But I don't actually care about that anymore. I've realized that what really matters to me is having people in my life that I really like, that are really my kind of person, I fit well with, that I can form a close bond with in a way that I can't with other people. Those are the kinds of people I want to have in my life. I want to be liked by people that I would like. I want to be popular and well-liked and loved, but among the kinds of people that I also think are really cool. Not just by random people, not by no fucking normies. I want to be liked by people who are like me. True, Belle is awesome. Belle is perfect. True, true. Can't wait to peg him. That is crazy. Based, though. Hope you have fun. What's that? You have a girlfriend who won't peg you? King, I'm so sorry. That's how I've always felt. I've been gifted with a warm smile, and I think that's why everyone approaches me everywhere I go. Yeah, everyone that I've talked to who is, like, able to effortlessly make people like them wherever they go, they don't necessarily like it. They like it in some ways, but they don't like having to deal with people everywhere they go, having to deal with all these, like, shallow social connections. And what they really care about is having people that suit them. And I think being charismatic is useful because it can help you find those more personal connections, because you meet so many more people, and among those people will be the people you want to be with, and it'll be easier to get those people to like you. But you can also become the kind of person who just gets the people you like to like you instead of getting everyone to like you. Getting everyone to like you is exhausting. So if you do that by default, sometimes you want to switch that off. Sometimes you want to stop pleasing everyone and trying to get along with everyone. Sometimes you just want to be invisible and sit in the corner of the party without being approached. Hey guys, I have a 5-minute break. Wanted to spend it with you. Hello, Toy. Welcome, welcome. Let's spend time together. How you doing? How you doing today? Is your therapy going well, Toy? You all good today? Prefer to stick with people I can connect with in deeper levels. Prefer a few real friends than a ton of them. Right. It's hard with group therapy happening around me. Oh, fuck. Group therapy is happening around you, but you're allowed to just be on your phone. What's... They're just giving you a break specifically, but everyone else isn't? Lucky you, though. She got so much. Aw, toy. We're always here. We ain't going nowhere. This channel is here to stay for many years to come. Okay. Let's read out the next one. What is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? Sisters and brothers. I don't think we spend enough time appreciating our dearest and most special sibling. I think we should all spend quality time with just our brothers and sisters. No one else is allowed. Sister time is special time. We should appreciate it more and have it more. In fact, I'd abandon my non-existent marriage to be with my non-existent sister forever. Just, hanging out. And there's no name written here. Right, no, fair enough. It's very, very wholesome to enjoy time with your family. Indeed. Very, very, family time is important. I think abandoning your marriage to be with your sister, I mean, I don't know. You can kind of kill two birds with one stone there by marrying your sister. I think that is a way around that. But yeah. That's something beautiful, but not here. Yeah, this isn't exactly the place to bring up brothers and sisters. But, you know, it happens. It kind of sounds like they're just being real. I can't tell if this is like them being genuine, or if they're also, if they're, because that one, the last line, I abandoned my non-existent marriage to be with my non-existent sister forever. I don't know. I don't know. Alright. Alright. Let's see. What is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? As a people pleaser saying this, my answer is the people who work hard or do nice things to please others, aka people pleasers themselves, because they are actually the nicest and sometimes they just feel misunderstood and aren't appreciated enough. Written by Lily. Yeah, it's true. Obviously people pleasing can be very unhealthy, but the kind of people who do that are just, they do it because they're nice people. Because they're good people, they care about the people around them. Well, actually, it depends, because actually some types of people-pleasing isn't done for kindness, it's done just more of a, for like validation or approval. But a lot of people-pleasers, they do it because they care about people, they want to be good, they want to be useful. And those are very nice people, and I do like those people a lot. And they do get underappreciated. It's easy to underappreciate people, you know, when you don't realize, you know, how important they are. And sometimes when they're gone, you realize just how important they were, but by then it's too late. So, appreciate the people pleasers in your life. Don't take advantage of them, but appreciate people who do good things for you, because they do that because they care. Well, a lot of the time. Again, there's other kinds of people pleasers. I'm talking about a certain kind right now. The kind that does it because they care. And those are the nicest kinds of people to be around. But they're also the people who oftentimes have the hardest lives, because it constantly gets taken advantage of and they're not appreciated for it. For what they do. You know, there's certain types of people in this world that are very nice, to be friends with, very good people to have in your life, but that aren't very nice to be if you are the person. Those are the kinds of people I actually like, gravitate towards, both platonically and otherwise. I think people who are just really kind and are almost self-sacrificing. But again, you can get a handle on that and not, you know, be... It's not that you shouldn't be good to people, it's that how good you are to people should match how good they're being back to you. So you shouldn't give and give and give to people who will never appreciate it. If there's someone who will appreciate it, then you can. You know, or if they will give you back as well, if they will also put their all... It's not transactional, but like, if it's good to be doing that with someone who will try as well to do good things for you, because then they care about you too. It's not good to be around people where you're just giving and giving and giving, and then you never get anything back. You should... You know, the balance there is you should be nice to people and kind to others, but if someone doesn't appreciate it, or is not intent on ever doing a nice thing for you ever, and just doesn't appreciate you at all, then you can stop. You don't need to keep giving to them. You can give to someone else who will appreciate it. And that's sort of the way forward if you're someone who gives a lot to other people, who gives too much. That's how you fix that. It's not that you stop being kind. You shouldn't, because that's a good quality. That is something good about you that you should keep. The only thing you should change is stop giving to people who don't appreciate it, who don't care, who don't even notice when you do the nice things for them. Because there are people out there who will notice, there are people out there who will appreciate it, and who will do nice things for you sometimes because they care, not because they have to, not because it's transactional, but because they will just naturally want to. There's people out there like that, and if you focus your energy on them, you'll have a happier life. And you'll just be creating more net good overall, because the people who aren't even appreciating what good you're doing for them, they're barely even noticing it anyway. Like, they're not bothering to notice it and appreciate it. Are they going to even notice if you're gone? I mean, maybe they will. But then, maybe that's for the best. You know, maybe they need to sit and reflect on that. It's better for you and other people if you're with the people who appreciate it, because they'll get the most out of it. They'll feel the happiest from it, and you'll share a good bond. Thank you for the advice. I actually needed that. I'm about to cry. Wait, really? You think that's good advice? I was just yapping. I was just saying what I felt was true. No one is a golden coin to please everyone, and sometimes if you want to get along with some kind of people, you won't be able to. You won't be able to please people that are the opposite, and trying to please everyone will end up messing you up, and you can end up losing everyone in the end. That's true. You can't please everyone. Sometimes you need to make decisions. Sometimes you need to cut people out. And that really sucks. But then if you do that, sometimes your life is better, and then the lives of your friends are also better if it was affecting that too. You know, it's ironic, but sometimes the most compassionate thing to do is actually to do something that feels uncompassionate. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to actually cut certain friends off, because maybe they're actually harmful to your other friends. Maybe the kindest thing to do is to cast someone out of a group because they're toxic to that group. Because they're awful and mean and bad to other people. Or doing things that are uncomfortable. You know? That are making the others uncomfortable. Sometimes the compassionate thing to do is to tell your friend that they're bothering you, that they're annoying you, that they're doing something bad to you. Because then you don't allow yourself to build up resentment over the course of a long time to the point where you eventually explode on them and then just end up lashing out. So the compassionate thing to do is to actually tell them your grievances and see if they can correct their behavior based on that, instead of convincing yourself that you can just keep taking it forever because you're just so benevolent and able to handle everything, because you're not. You can't just handle everything. You're human. You have a breaking point. The compassionate thing to do isn't to hold things in till you reach that breaking point. It's to address the problems early on, before you reach that point. Alright. Oh, I'm glad you guys are feeling happy and very heart-warmed here in the chat. Life's complicated, but we'll make it through together. We're learning. And we will be surrounded by people who appreciate us. And we'll do our best to live good lives. That's what we'll do. What is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? Teachers, doctors, and military personnel. Teachers because they teach us and have to deal with a lot of crap. Doctors because they save us and also have to deal with crap. Military personnel because sometimes they leave my country, I'm from the USA, to protect those who can't protect themselves, and they sometimes come back, or they do and they're not the person they were before they went to war. Written by Riku. Yeah, so I mean, teachers can be teachers are often underpaid, which really sucks, because it's affecting the schooling system. Teaching, there's a lot of work that goes into teaching. It's an intensive job. You have to do so much training for it, and then you have to put in so much work to make it happen. And yet, they don't even get paid that much, which is ironic, because, like, if it's such an important job and it takes so much work, it should definitely get more pay. And so teachers, the only people who really become teachers are people who are ridiculously passionate about it, because it's not really worth it if you're just doing it for the money. But we can definitely improve schooling and get more teachers and stop the shortages and stuff if we were to pay them more. Doctors definitely true. They're not underpaid. Actually, no, sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. I don't know, it depends on your country. But yeah, doctors, definitely important. I mean, they save lives. Without them, we'd be lost. I think actually where I live, they actually are getting a bit underpaid. So that is something they need to improve, because that also affects the medical system and creates longer wait times for people who have injuries and sicknesses and who need, and it affects people. It leads to sometimes people dying or having to suffer longer or have issues that become permanent because they're not treated in time. If they could have more doctors, that'd be really good. And if they paid them more, then that problem would be solved because more people would become doctors. But yeah, certainly underappreciated by the government and by people as well at times. Regular people. I think military personnel can vary because not every military conflict throughout history has been a justified one. There's, like World War II veterans who were on the Allied side. They definitely deserve to be appreciated. They went through absolute hell. And they did it to protect us and to fight against a really big evil. They were trying to fight the Nazis. They're trying to stop the advance of absolute totalitarianism and racial genocide. That was a fight for something good. But, there's other wars that have been fought by America and whatnot that weren't for good causes, where, civilians were killed and murdered. A lot of that stuff's actually very recent. Some of it's in our history and some of it's recent. And something you need to realize a lot of the time is that, you might feel very loyal to your country and feel a strong sense of pride in your country. But that doesn't mean your country can't do bad things. Governments are out to fight for their own interests, to protect themselves. And sometimes they're greedy. They're going after things for their own benefit. They're trying to get oil, they're trying to get money, power. And so they base their wars around that. And they're trying to just advance their agenda. And horrific crimes can be committed. Civilians are murdered. Genocides are committed. So military personnel aren't always good. Sometimes they're actually carrying out things that are quite bad. But certainly in some conflicts, some wars, they definitely do deserve a lot of appreciation because they're the heroes. But it depends, because they're not always the heroes. It's a complex world out there. But yeah, definitely, I think if you're willing to go out and risk your life to protect your country, like that is very honorable. Like that's a big deal. You know, like war is a horrible, horrific thing. If you bear that and you go through that for the greater good, it's something you deserve a lot of appreciation for. It's an awful, traumatic thing to go through. And a lot of people die for it. They die in it. They lose their life. And that's definitely something you need to appreciate, because they did it because you don't have to. They did it so you don't have to. Visiting Arlington Cemetery really impacted my thoughts on those who serve their countries. I'm not familiar with Arlington Cemetery. It's sad when people don't appreciate the military. Those who go risking their lives and mental health deserve appreciation. That's why I appreciate my dad, grandfathers, and eventually my sister. Yeah, it really does have a number on your mental health. It's scary how in the olden days, they didn't have all the mental health knowledge we have now. They didn't have the psychology research we have now. So when people had like PTSD and shell shock and all that, they kind of just thought people were going insane. And when people would get flashbacks back in like olden times, you know, like PTSD and stuff, and would have nightmares and dreams, whatever, they just thought it was like the ghosts of their enemies coming to haunt them or some shit. They just thought it was like supernatural stuff going on. But no, it was actually just a condition that they didn't know how to treat. Now we have ways to treat it, but it's still really bad on people. War does horrible things to people. You have to go through a lot. It really shakes you up. Yeah. Like, it traumatizes you for the rest of your life, and even once you're out of the war, it never quite leaves you, you know? Sometimes you hear a freaking fork drop on the floor, and you immediately start cowering in fear because you sounded slightly like the sounds you heard at war. We appreciate you, Exhibit. I appreciate that. Thank you. I just got an offer at another school yesterday as an English teacher. I'm not ready to put myself into all that stress for nothing, so I declined. I mean, that's fair enough. But if you are aiming to be a teacher, I hope someday you can do that in a way where you get paid well for it. You can get paid a lot for teaching English in non-English speaking countries, so that's one avenue to go down. Get paid a lot for that, because they really want people teaching English in countries that aren't speaking it. It depends on the country, though. My mom's a doctor, and she's definitely underappreciated. Not even talking about the payment, but in many ways. We pay teachers more. People who are less passionate and more money hungry will be encouraged to become teachers. I don't know why I'm feeling contrarian today. Yeah, fucking Moxie becoming a contrarian. You stopped being a conformist, but you're a contrarian now. What are you at? What are you at? It's true people who are less passionate could become teachers, but also, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of people who are very passionate, who would be very passionate about teaching, who would love to be teachers, who are deciding not to be teachers just because they're not going to be paid very much. They're like, I'd love to be a teacher, but like, I can't put in all that work for so little pay. So I think you're still losing out on a lot of good teachers. You're still losing out on a lot of good things there. And you need to address the shortages, you need to address all those issues. I don't actually want to be a teacher. How'd you get an offer to be a teacher? Do you have the qualifications for it? I thought you had to go through like teacher training. I I'm just doing that as one of my many jobs while I study and figure out what I really want in life. Oh, okay, so you did actually... Oh yeah, you're currently... I forget what your current job status is. Are you currently a teacher? Oh, you're a teacher. Oh yeah, I remember now. You said you were a teaching assistant, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What is the person or type of person you think is underappreciated? First, though, was Moxie, but then I remembered how we praise and appreciate him, and that's why I would say Moxie and real life. And also Mr. Weenus, you know, the healthy red one. Both deserve more love in aspects of their lives, written by Utopia. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, just out here appreciating your friends. So agree with what you said, however... Oh. My teaching a little stressful, but I'm a perfectionist, so I do everything with professionalism. I don't like giving a mediocre job. Yeah. You don't like giving a mediocre job. You don't like doing a job that blows. No blow job. Yeah. Alright, what's Moxie typing out here? We'll catch that in a sec. Oh no, it's nothing. Alright. Oh, paid actor. Okie dokie. What is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? Frankly, I feel like most people are underappreciated in modern society, especially the elderly. It's gross how expensive elderly care is for frankly subpar accommodations and services. But aside from that, I think service workers like fast food workers and gas station workers are very underappreciated. Any minimum wage job, in particular where customer service is involved, people can be so rude and mean to cashiers, often for things not even in the cashier's power. For example, when the menu changes or prices go up, and just because the cashiers don't have respect or authority, people feel like it's okay to throw temper tantrums and cuss at them, and take out the rage for the company on the employee. It's a mostly thankless job when done well, but for even the smallest mistake, the customers get this, "Oh, of course I can't expect good service in here" attitude. Help desks and call centers probably have it the worst, when people are coming in already upset, or anything over the phone, or the anonymous factor seems to give people extra audacity to be extra cruel. In general, our society lacks empathy in a bad way, and I feel like it's doomed to be standard for as long as we practice unbridled capitalism. Anyway, I'm sneaking in this answer while at work. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Every like equals one service employee who gets to catch a break today, written by Toybox. Right, yeah, you put a lot of focus on people working in service industries, which is true. I think when a lot of people go into like a fast food restaurant, for example, they don't even view the cashiers as human. They just view them as like an NPC, an object, and they don't really care about their feelings, how they feel. They don't care if they do something that hurts them or makes them feel bad, because it's just an object, you know? The world often forces us to become objects for other people. We're forced to serve that function. To actually, companies will actively tell us to hide our humanity, to respond in robotic ways, so intentionally so that people don't think of us as humans and instead think of us as a representative of a company. They want us to be thought of as part of a company, not as a person. And so in doing that, you know, these corporations actively try to dehumanize people, make people be viewed as objects. There's a lot of situations where people profit from having people be thought of as objects, whether that be in terms of fast food, people working as a service industry, you know, working in customer service, or whether it be things like, you know, thinking of women as objects. You know, people kind of get a lot of advantage whenever they can. There's certain companies and corporations that benefit when people think of women as only existing for the sake of certain purposes and certain uses. You know, there's a lot that goes into all of that. There's a lot of people who win whenever people are dehumanized. Because then you cut through the fat, you know, people aren't concerned for the well-being of the people being exploited. They just take. But yeah, you mentioned call centers there. As you all know, I know what that's like. Very unpleasant. But, yeah, I mean, it all just sucks. Because, you can't do shit on either end. You've got an issue and you're calling up about it. The corporation doesn't care about you. And then the person on the other end can't help you. So, of course, you want to direct the anger at the representative of the company because you're angry at the company. But then you have to remember that the person on the other end is not the company. The company wants you to believe that that person is the company, but that person isn't the company. They're doing it because they have to. And that's the thing you got to keep in mind. Now, thing is, using the term underappreciated, I don't know if call center workers are underappreciated. Because yes, I did work in a call center, but do I think that people who work in call centers deserve to be appreciated? Not really. They're not useful for society. I think you shouldn't be mean to them. I think if people are doing that as a job, they're doing it because they have to, and that doesn't make them bad. But they're also not good for society. I mean, like, what am I... Should I appreciate the person who's trying to sell stuff to me over the phone? Not really. I can understand that they're just doing their job, but at the same time, not really want to have to deal with it. Or not want to have to deal with this middleman for getting my issues fixed, who's trying to help me out, but also trying to sell me stuff on the side. But I get what you mean. Now, in terms of fast food workers, I'd say they're underappreciated, because they're providing a service for you. And you should be grateful for anyone who's providing you a service. And that does, to some degree, apply to people in call centers, too. Because if they're giving you something you want, and you're benefiting from it, then you should appreciate that. It really just depends on what kind of call center person you're dealing with. It can really depend. But yeah. So... It's a wild world. Anyway. I'm not a teacher right now, I just give eventually private foreign languages lessons, and I'm currently working on another job. Oh, okay, you give lessons. Okay, you're like a... Okay. Funny because I'm working as a cashier and restaurant manager because my dad is the owner, and I agree. Yo. As a service employee, I appreciate Toy for saying this. Yeah. I get it easier than others because my dad is the owner and I've gotten many pretty privilege, but I know how hard and bad it can be, and I totally agree. Yeah, see, you'll have an advantage in some ways for that. But you probably experience unique difficulties because of being pretty as well. Like, probably people trying to hit on you or trying to bother you and harass you when you're working. But the thing is that I grow to be grateful for those customers who understand and have the patience for service industry workers. Yeah, it's a good way to suss out someone's character. If they treat service industry workers well, then that's a good person, because, like, if you were that service industry worker, then they'd be treating you well. You shouldn't associate with people who treat service industry workers badly, because, like, what if that was you? Then they'd be treating you that way. Trust me, I'm just doing my job. Yeah, so that's a difficulty you encounter that I probably wouldn't if I was doing the same job. So it's not even good for people with pretty privilege necessarily. Being pretty comes with privileges, it comes with downsides too, if you're a pretty girl. If you're a pretty guy, there's less advantages to it, but there's less disadvantages to it as well. Like, being a attractive guy, you're probably not going to get harassed as much as a woman would for being attractive. And then you probably won't be able to utilize it as well because, like, male beauty isn't as highly valued as female beauty in society. But, you know, you have less downsides, less upsides, but you still get upsides, right? You can still, you might get... People will like you more. I mean, that's the main thing. And I think it probably helps you get jobs, too. Being attractive. I think maybe people have done studies on that, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll pray for you, Sarah. Are you religious, Kit Kat? Did not know that you were, if you are. Let's see. 1 second. Alright. 1 second. What is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? I thought again and my first answer is incomplete, so I corrected to everyone in the cool family, because Snake, Nate, Toy, and more who are also deserving of more love, sometimes even from themselves. Written by Utopia. Okay, so that wasn't totally grammatical, I don't really know. I know what they're trying to say, though. Utopia times 2. I thought again in my first... Yeah, so your first answer is incomplete. So they're correcting it. Everyone in the cool family. Yeah. Cool, yeah. Just appreciating your friends, that's fair. Cool, cool. Alright, alright. That Discord sound was on my end, by the way. You guys don't need to check your Discord. What is a person or type of person you think is underappreciated? Male VTubers who make piggy noises and give out dog whistles that empower my implicit misogyny while fueling my homosexual tendencies aren't appreciated enough. You're not appreciated enough, Exy. I love you, man. Written by fucking Guess. Wow. I mean... Alright, Moxie. I mean, you're the only guy who calls me Exy right now, I think. Or so, I think others used to. Maybe, I don't know, I don't remember. Yeah, appreciate you too, Moxie. You're a very cool guy. You're a very cool guy. You're a great friend. And, yeah, I look forward to being more homosexual with you in future. I'm looking forward to it. Did he call you Exy? Oh yeah, I guess he does, yeah. I think praying for others and wishing others is good, but my beliefs aren't as strong as they used to be, and I do begin to question them a lot. Okay, so you're like a casual Christian, rather than like a competitive Christian. A competitive ranked Christian. Alright, alright. What is a person, or type of person you think is underappreciated? Cutie pies with H-cup titties, written by Moxie. H-cup titties, that's a throwback. That was a long time ago we were talking about people with H-cups. I barely even remember what that was about. It was too long ago. what is a type of person you think is underappreciated? A seriously underrated person? In my opinion, it's Sarah. You know, the hardworking, extremely gorgeous, fun Latina. She's quirky, but always there when you need her. As I said before, everyone needs a Sarah in their life. Haha, and yes, I'm not being threatened to say this, lol, but seriously, she's genuinely such a good friend, and she's always there for me, so yeah, maybe I should appreciate her more. I'm definitely not making it look like she threatened me on purpose, haha, I would never. Written by definitely not Skylar. It's Skylar if some people get confused, because I would. Okay. Yeah, just kind of showering Sarah in praise. Fair enough. No, yeah, she definitely didn't threaten you into doing this, dude. I didn't threaten him, you sure? Yeah. It's good to appreciate your friends. It's a good thing. Very good. At least someone compliments me. Exhibit A only attacks me. Of course. Alright, that's the last one there. Speaking of religion and all that, I think sometimes in my life, when things get really difficult, and I mean really difficult, I have to be pushed pretty damn hard to get to this point. Sometimes I'll consider like, oh, what if maybe I should become religious? You know, maybe I would feel better if I believed in something higher, you know? So I don't know, if I go through it enough, guys, you might see Exhibit A religious arc coming on, being like, hey, it's Exhibit Christian here, and just get rid of all the freaking sexual stuff and start doing Bible study. Probably not. I think that's unlikely. But it would be pretty funny. It would be pretty funny for the channel to turn around that much. But, you know, things aren't that bad yet. But we'll see. We'll see. I wish Exhibit would attack me. Come here, Moxie! I'd be up for that. I think if any... Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be ideal for you. I'd be thinking it's the end of the world. Maybe it would be. It'd be the second coming of Jesus. I'd rather that than incest. Yeah, in a way, maybe it'd be for the best. Alright. Well, guys, I'd be chilling. Yeah, I forget. I forget if you're religious, Lily. Are you? I think you are, right? I'm surprised how many... There's so many religious people who watch my content, even though my stuff is rather sinful. Dun dun dun. Sounds like Christianity, but if Adam and Eve are literal incest, would still be on the table. Yeah, I mean, Adam and Eve literally did incest, that's the thing. Then we would all be sisters and brothers in Christ. Yeah, guess so. Probably increase or decrease your chance of cancellation. It would kind of do both at the same time, wouldn't it? Because, It depends on which religious beliefs I'm expressing and how strongly I believe them. Where Jesus talks and not talks about how to fuck your sister. Alright, listen, Sarah. There's a lot of parts in the Bible that have... I don't know. I think there's some parts that... I don't know. I think there's plenty of material to work with in the Bible. You don't remember that one time the two daughters fucked their dad because they thought the world was ending? You don't remember that part of the Bible? Or what about Adam and Eve and their children? How do they reproduce? Who are they? Who are Adam and Eve's children fucking? What, the monkeys? I don't think so. Nah. The fact that Abraham and Sarah were siblings, were they? Oh, there's incest in the Bible, I'm not sure about Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve weren't siblings, it's just that those were the first two humans. And, like, their children, well, who are their children gonna breed with? Yeah, Lot's daughters, yeah, that's who it was, Lot. But they were damned for hooking up with their father. Yeah. Well. I'm just saying, if we had Bible study, it's not like we'd never be talking about that. Alright, what else? Copestianity. I guess it would be Copestianity, right? And I get that. But, like, isn't that why a lot of people turn to religion because of bad things going on in their life? But, like, technically that's valid, right? From a biblical perspective. It's like, going through hard times makes you turn to God. It's not, like, the worst thing, is it? It's not necessarily the most intellectual, but... you might turn to it because you're feeling horrible. And because you need something to cope. But then once you're in the religion, once you're reading the text, once you're in it knee-deep, maybe the reason you stay is different. Maybe you find a lot of truth in it. So it's not always bad, I suppose. I don't know. I will say, sometimes, like, I've been a devout atheist for the longest time, being like, you know, there's no proof of any of it, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna believe, because I was raised with it, and then I went away from it because I didn't find it logical. But, like, you know, I'm more open-minded to the idea now of, like, whatever, like, I don't know. Because, like, I don't believe it's logical, and that's the thing keeping me away, but in some ways, sometimes I think to myself that I wish I could believe in a higher power. I don't find it logical. But then I wish I could. Sometimes, not all of the time. Because there's a lot of things I don't like about religion, too. But it depends on what mood I'm in, you know. Sometimes I'm like, don't want to be religious, I want to live my sinful life. I wouldn't want that stuff to be true. I'm glad it's not true. But if I'm going through some shit, or if, like, I'm sick with how, like, nihilistic the world is, I might think to myself, like, man, it sure would be nice if there was something more than this, you know? So it depends. Most of the time, I prefer the idea of there being nothing. Because I don't want to be punished for my doings, you know? I want to live the life that I want to live without believing it's wrong. But then, it's like, I've done things that I believe are wrong even by my own standard now. So then what would even be that much, you know, at least as a Christian, I believe that there's someone out there to forgive me for it. So I don't know, it depends on how I'm feeling. Depends on what stage of my life I'm at. Most of the time I prefer the idea of being an atheist and find it freeing. But sometimes, just sometimes, I'm like, man, I kinda wish this stuff was true. Because then, even there would be a lot of downsides, at least I would have a purpose. At least there would be some kind of life after death. At least there's something more, greater than myself, to believe in. And it all doesn't just end with the heat death of the universe and with when I die. That's why when an Egyptian emperor wanted to kill Abraham to get to Sarah, he just told him that he was his sister. Yeah. Alright. Murder happens in the Bible too. Banging their dead wasn't ever justified or endorsed. That's true. I'm just saying. Listen, I was just saying, if we do Bible study, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of, we'd still be talking about that topic. No, Adam and Eve. I mean, that was endorsed because when Adam and Eve had their kids, like, they were supposed to repopulate the earth. So unless they were having sex with the fucking orangutans, they were doing it with each other. So that's that. I'd be calling my son Isaac, though. I don't like that name. I already picked the names. Or you wouldn't call. Yeah. You go for biblical names, yeah. I'm glad that I was given a biblical name. Exhibit A. Exhibit A from the Bible was a very important person. Yeah. Alright, well, I've read all the answers. I think it is about time to end stream. So, thank you all so much for being here. It's been cool. Been chill. I missed the part in the Bible where Exhibit A was mentioned. It was the part that said, in the beginning, Exhibit A created the heavens and the earth. And Exhibit A said, "Let there be light." I think that's the quote, right? I think that's where Exhibit A was mentioned. Alright, guys. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna go. Be on my way. Without further ado, I will see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.